Good afternoon from First Page Autos on a lovely sunny Saturday. So a fair bit's happened in the last week from when I last posted. So there's a little bit of catching up to do. So we've sold the Peugeot 208 GTI that if you've watched any of the previous videos that I've done, it was in a couple of them. So we had to get the wheels refurbished and the mechanical checks done on it as well. So it had a slight rattle from the front end. Don't know why I'm pointing at that one, but it had a slight rattle from the front end, so we needed to get that checked out and get it ready for the new owner. So we thought it was going to be something like a shock, which we've had before on Peugeot 208s. The shocks go and then they rattle when you go over bumps. But unfortunately, it needed anti-roll bar links on both sides, needed front disc and pads because the inner face of the brake discs had corroded quite badly. It also needed the shock, which was what was causing the rattle in the first place. So all of those other bits are just in addition to fixing that one little issue that we thought that we had. And for something that we thought was going to cost us £300, ended up costing us about £890. I say about, it was £890. So unfortunate, but that's just what it takes sometimes to get these cars into good mechanical condition. The other thing that has happened yesterday is this little MG3 is one that we sold a month ago to a fella down the road. We've sold him 2 cars now. He called us up saying that he got home after a long drive out to Colchester and then Chelmsford and then back home, and then as soon as he got back home there was a horrible rattle in the engine bay. Now it wasn't this side, so when we got there it was still making the noise, so we started it up, heard it instantly. The timing chain's just under here, which was what I thought could be the cause of the issue. But it was down this side, so sort of gearbox side, but it wasn't changing when you depress the clutch, it wasn't changing when the engine revs were climbing, and it wasn't changing for different gears or when you maybe put the engine under a bit of load or something like that. So it's what the way he described it was that it was like a sound of broken glass sort of tinkling. So it's a bit of an odd one because when we picked this up yesterday, so 5 o'clock, went straight round there, picked it up, got it booked in with the garage for Monday so that we could get it sorted as quickly as possible for him. As I've driven it down the road, literally 2 minutes down the road, the noise has stopped completely, and I'll start it up. So, and it was a very, very obvious rattle. Start it up. How many miles has this one done? 71,000? Yeah, 71,000. So it's not the lowest mileage car in the world, but it's got good service history with it, and he traded in the Igo that he bought from us a year or so ago to get a car that was slightly bigger. But I'll just shut up for a second. Now they're not the smoothest engines in the world, these little 1.5s, but there's nothing obvious there. I mean, it was a loud rattle. So the issue we've now got is, because I've taken this out for a drive, I've started it up many times, I've let it warm up fully and sort of tried to recreate exactly what happened to him today, is we're going to have to double check exactly what's going on with the garage and then potentially just give the car back to him, because there's no warning lights on the dashboard. The blue one in the middle is just saying that it's the coolant's cold. No lights on the dashboard, the noise hasn't come back, and if it was going to be something major like an ancillary noise, or the ancillaries are down this side of the engine, the timing belts, timing chains this side of the engine, the only thing really that moves on this side is the gearbox. But then everything seems okay with that, so we're going to test it again tomorrow. We'll get it in with the garage on Monday just in case there's something that they can spot and maybe there's a code stored in there. But it's a real head scratcher, this one. Really can't tell what's gone on with it. It's a lovely car otherwise, and he likes it, so obviously he doesn't want to get rid. It's just he wants it fixed so it's nice and safe for him and his wife. So yeah, bit of a head scratcher, but if anyone knows what that might potentially be, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I do read the comments, not that there are many on these videos at the moment, but yeah, it would be a real help if you could point me in the right direction. The other activity that we've had in the last week was that we sold the red Nissan Juke that had 40,000 miles on it. It was a 2013 63 plate, I think it was. 40,000 mile, 1.5 diesel, really fantastic car. It was just in the spot where the Igo now is. So sold that to a fella that works near us in Colchester, lives over in Ongar, so that's going to be a fantastic commuter car for him. And yeah, fingers crossed that that's all good for him. Now, because we've sold a few cars, oh, there was a Corsa as well. I should mention that. We were selling a Corsa on behalf of one of the mechanics, not this guy, around the other side. And he, basically we sold it within 2 or 3 days, with it being on the forecourt, not even advertised, just people wandering onto site looking for a cheap car for their son or daughter. Had 3 or 4 people look at it in the same day, and sold it to a fella that lives just down the road in Tiptree. So yeah, all the best with him and his son's first car. Now, I'm circling around this because this is one of the new arrivals that we've just had come in. So it's a 2017 Suzuki Swift SZL. So it's the 1.2, so just a regular Suzuki Swift, but the limited edition comes with this nice little roof spoiler, sort of some funky black alloy wheels. And it does look the part. It has daytime running lights, and we bought this from Northampton, so Mannheim auctions that we get most of our cars from. Bought it from them in Northampton. Drove back the 2-hour drive back absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. It has done, let me just open it up. I think it's 33,000 miles. I've got to put the foot on the clutch to start it up. 33,653. The radio was missing out of it, which was a little bit odd, but I suppose it's one of those that it's probably had an aftermarket stereo in it. Someone's then taken it with them when they've sold the car, which is completely understandable. So we've got another one on order for that. Still needs to go through its mechanical checks. A couple of little bits of prep work to do on it in terms of cosmetics, but nothing major at all, which is fantastic. So other things that have been going on, had plenty of inquiries coming in for the convertibles that are just over here. So the Audi A3's the more popular of the two at the moment. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we had an inquiry from a lady. It was perfectly nice and very nice to talk to. But she wanted to part exchange her 150,000 mile 2013 or 14 Mercedes A-Class against this. And whilst it may be a good car, and it said the retail was around about, I think it was £5,000, I offered, without seeing the car, so I will just say that she didn't pop down and I didn't have a chance to see, drive, and just make sure it was a good car and maybe offer a little bit more. I gave her an offer of a part exchange of £2,500, which I thought was very, very fair. But I did say to her that obviously that could go up or go down depending on condition, the way it drives, the current MOT on it. Oh, that was it. It only had a week's worth of MOT left. So once I found that out, I reduced my offer to £2,000 straight away. It wasn't as if I had phoned her back and gone, oh, actually, no, I can't give you that for it. And she was a little bit sort of taken aback by that, thought it was worth a lot more than that, to which I then explained that I've just got to hedge my bets with these part exchanges, because if, for example, there's something major that goes wrong on them, I've got to foot that bill. I've got to warrant the car for 6 months if I'm going to sell it myself, and it might cost me £1,500 just to get it mechanically right. I've been stung too many times with part exchanges, as a lot of dealers have. So unfortunately that didn't lead anywhere, but fingers crossed for tomorrow and the coming week. Thanks for watching this, and if you've got any other questions or would like any specific videos about any of our stock, please let me know. Thank you.